coffee. You see that I toggle from this side to the other side very comfy, very kinda comfortably or conveniently. Is because I stay here for almost a year, so I know where I put things. Because I'm the person who work in this areas a lot. I cook and I do a lot of things, so I kinda know where I put things. I have an image of where things are, so that it's easier for me. But I'm not sure. I mean, like I said earlier, the people with the blindness, they will learn to adapt to their environment. So they have, I think that's why people keep saying that if you lose one sense, the other sense becomes stronger. It's because you're practicing it for so long, so you know it really well. And I think that the people with blindness, they have a really good sense of space. So I kinda underestimate space a lot of times because I know the where it is, but I don't know like how many steps I should come forward to get to the point that I want to go. But they know it. That's very crazy, right? I wish that that place just for myself, so just put it in microwave. That has the dot for people with blindness. You can use with a sign letter, so I can use it. And when I take it out and eat it myself, I don't have to divide the food to other people. I'm sharing the food with my friends, so it's very tough. I can see. It's very tough. There's a lot of things that we need to get prepared, get it done for people with blindness before delivered to them, so they can live independently. I might say that independently is not the right word, but I'll try to help them to live independently to the level that they can, because there's something they cannot do it, like prepare food. How you prepare food is very dangerous. And how can you cook though? You can use the already cooked food to put it in frozen, take it out, put it in a plate, put it in a microwave. That is easier. But asking them to cook for themselves, like using all the ingredients and put it in, that is a whole new world to them. But if that person with blindness can do it, he is or she is a very superhero to me, and has a superpower for that. Good luck. So this is the last part of the video. I'm going to answer some questions from Project D, and I have some references from this book, The Special Education by Marilyn Friend. So the first question is, what kind of training you would need to successfully adapt to this disability? So according to this book, there are a lot of things that we need to be trained on, but the first thing I need to know is how to use the braille system, that is a sign system. It's not a sign system, it's a dot system, so you can read and write using that system. And another one is the prints. I think that is necessary. because you need to read on the dot letters. So if you put the dot letter on the appliance or on the manual, so you can read it and you can know how to use the appliance around the living environment. But I think the most important thing is there are a lot of like skills that I need to learn, like independently living skills. But the most important thing is the emotional training. That's how you cope with the visual impairment, especially blindness. It is because it's tough. When I simulated it, you can see that I've been struggling doing this and that. And according to this book, you know that there are a lot of limits to people. You cannot, like mobility limitations, you cannot do a lot of things. You have to sit you've been surrounded, I mean, like you've been grounded, and you will not be able to do a lot of things because you cannot see. It will cause a lot of issues mentally. So that's why the emotional training is very important. That leads to the training of socialization, communication with other people too. You know how to express yourself, to tell people what you need, and to tell people what you don't want them to do with you. So that helps you live more independently. Like other than that, this move next to the second question, just describe any accessibility problems that I encounter during the simulation. So during the simulation, the most tedious things that I feel frustrated about is that on the appliance around me and on the technologies around me, it doesn't have the braille system on it, the dot side or anything that the people with blindness can use to know what they're touching and how to use a specific appliance or a specific tool and technology. Like in the simulation, you can see that I was struggling using the microwave. It is because I observed the microwave like for a good amount of time to visualize what I'm gonna do when I blinded myself with the scarf. But then I forgot to visualize the positions of the button. I mean, I did, but I didn't know that as I forgot. And then I need to ask for help, or else I didn't have my lunch, and that is very frustrating. And well, and the same thing happens when I use the washing machine. The washing machine is easier is because on the button, it has the thing that annotate, oh, that is where the arrow points at. So because I know what mode of washing I use, so I just have to turn the knob to that direction. That's easier. I mean, that is kind of good, but it's better if I can, if they have the prayer letters on it, so I can read the instruction, or I can read the what is this? The titles of each of the modes of washing, so I can use it better. But another problem is that I cannot cook, obviously, as it's very dangerous for people with blindness to cook, is because there are fires and there are sharp things that they cannot use, like knife and stuff. So Yeah, so mostly, uh, I think the people with blindness, um, has to have some sort of food that is cooked already, a frozen food. You can put it in microwave. The microwave doesn't have any braille letters so they can read, and it's hard for them to. But that should be prepared for them, and yeah, they cannot prepare the ingredients to cook. They kind of use knife instead. But when I did use the knife, I thought that, oh, we can create a knife with a frame. So when you touch the knife, when you touch the thing to find the knife, you're not gonna touch the blade. It's not gonna hurt you. Only when you cut, you press it down. You put the pressure on the knife, the blade's gonna come out and cut the things. So that's one thing to think of. And another thing is like you have to, I mean, that means I'm talking to the last questions, like how I might need to adapt to my home environment to live more independently with visual impairment blindness. Yeah, that is the things I need. I think I need to I need an audio system or a prayer dot letters system at least. So when I use any appliance or any technology in the house, I know what I'm doing. Like if I need to turn on the radios or the movie with the remote, I need to know what button you do what. So I can utilize it. And like for example, for the microwave, if there's no sign on here, how do I know what button do what? How can I know that, oh, this is for time and that is for resets and cancels and stuff? So how can I cook? If I don't have that, I have to depend on someone else to help me with that, to cook for me, to clean up for me. I mean, there are things that I certainly need to be dependent on other people, like cleaning the house. I can clean myself. Somehow I can use sense and touches of touching to do hygiene for myself. But what about the environment I'm living in? I'm not going to be able to do that, so I need some sort of help with that too. Yeah, it would be nice if the apartment is, how do I say, it's set up with audio support. Like when I touch anything, it's tell me what it is and what is that, and it had a sense of tell me where I'm going if I touch anything. That would be nice too. And I think people can do that because they are developing the AI system. And like a baby, I need to cover on the sharp things, so I don't touch anything sharp that can hurt myself. I think that is it. I think this is a good experience, good project for me to experience what people with blindness have trouble with, so I can understand if there's some occasions I can work with the people with blindness. I understand how frustrated they are, and I can help them with more patience.